Hi, this is Charlie Zeiss with Stargate Pyramids. Today's video is going to be about a new revelation that I have found about the Stargate Pyramid geometry being found in the Mayan calendar. Joining me today is Lori Sassen and Bill MacKenzie, and we're going to be talking about this discovery, but also as an added benefit today in discussing this information earlier today, as you will see, there's a reason why we're going to pick up on a topic that we discussed in our last video, which was namely that of stacking pyramids. So we're going to actually be showing the energetic value of stacking pyramids inside of each other at the end of this video as well, because it ties in perfectly with some information that we have found regarding the Mayan calendar. So we're going to start now with the information. In the center of our intro page, you'll see a Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar is actually dates back to, I believe, around the 5th century before Christ, and is the kind of the progenitor of a number of variants on this calendar. The Aztecs and other tribes used in Central and South America. And as you'll see on the right side, we're going to be showing you pictures of these pyramidal objects which show up on the outside of the Mayan calendar. So as you'll see, again, another picture of this calendar. This calendar was very complex and also was quite accurate and far ahead of anything, to my knowledge, that was available in the West until the last 100 years or so. But again, to show you these objects that appear at the top and along the side, the outer diameter perimeter of the calendar, all have the same geometry of 76.345 degrees that we've seen in the Egyptian hieroglyphs, in the Hindu and Buddhist temples, and many other places throughout the world. So this isn't a fluke. I'm showing you a couple examples here. This is a more contemporary depiction of the Mayan calendar that I believe is actually being mass-produced today. But once again, you'll see the geometry, the slant angle of these pyramidal objects on the calendar have the same geometry. And here's another example with the 76.345 degree. And again, for those of you who may not have seen some of my prior videos, we're using an MB ruler, which is a protractor app available on Google Chrome. Because of the small size of these relative to the picture itself, when you blow these pictures up, the pixelation doesn't allow for precision down to the third decimal point. But you can see that all of these are showing that it's well within the margin of error of 76.345 degrees. And here's another picture as well. Something that I want to show you, and pointing out with my cursor here, there are on the outside here, there are 8 of these pyramidal shapes. The ones at 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock have these swirling objects underneath them. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but maybe Bill and Lori might have some thoughts on that as we proceed on into the video. But here's another example of that geometry. So what I wanted to do in closing was to show you that these pyramids have the exact shape of the hieroglyph that comes from the Temple of Karnak, which is the picture in the middle of these three. And you'll see at the bottom, and this is what prompted us to do the second half of our video today, you're going to see that each of these shows a smaller pyramidal shaped carve out at the bottom of the pyramid. And so what that came up, or what Bill thought about, and we've tested that, is to think that what this may actually be is a symbol that tells us about this stacking idea. But I'd like to turn it over now to both Bill and Lori to give their impressions of it, And after that, we'll show you some demonstrations with using pyramids in a stacked fashion inside our pyramid. So Bill, why don't you start off?
I just was looking at that picture, and it reminded me of one of Charlie's viewers from last week's video, who sent us a picture of his double cone, which is one cone inside of another, and taking that concept of stacking pyramids inside of each other, just looking at that Karnak representation with the slit, at the bottom, reminded me of a smaller pyramid. And the fact that all three of those images, one from the Mayans, the one from the Egyptians, both had the slit, sort of suggested that maybe there's more to stacking these objects inside of each other.
And then the other thing you mentioned were the swirls underneath the pyramids.
Right.
I would think that would have to pertain to breath and air, like oxygen. So something towards that.
That was my feeling as well, that I'm not sure why it was only on 4 out of the 8, but it was almost like it was an energy coming from underneath, coming up into the pyramid itself. So lots more to learn here. And if there's anybody who's listening to this video who has more expert knowledge about the Mayan calendar than we do, we'd certainly like to hear that. But as an outgrowth of that information, which I think in and of itself is pretty profound, off camera, before we started this video, we did some takes with Laurie as our subject and Bill as our tester, and we found some really fascinating information about the energies inside the pyramid and the stacking of the pyramid. So what we're going to do at this point, Laurie is going to show you the different, Bill's going to douse Laurie and show you the difference in the energy fields at the bottom, at the middle, and at the top of the pyramid. And also is going to demonstrate, she's going to put on a party hat, which we've done previous videos about, which works as a surrogate for a small pyramid, and the dramatic increase this hat has on Laurie's energy. So Bill, you and Laurie take it away and show us what you got.
Okay, so Laurie is now sitting on the bottom of the pyramid, and her energy, using the Bovis Force scale, is at 50,000.
Okay.
So that's our baseline.
I'm going to take notes here.
Now she's going to put on a party hat, which, as you pointed out before, Charlie, has the same shape as the Russian pyramid. And with her party hat, she's now up to 250,000.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go get the chair.
Okay, so she's sitting in the chair now. And her energy's 50,000, 55,000. She puts the hat on. And now she's up to 500,000.
And now, Laurie, you're going to stand up, right?
Stand up, yep.
Okay.
Okay, so standing up, she's now at 1 million.
Okay. Wow, that's a dramatic increase.
And with her party hat, $2 million.
2 million. Wow.
I'd rather keep it on now. And we also found out that it's probably not good to have yourself in the pyramid at the top for over 10 hours. So most people aren't going to stand in the pyramid for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And for 2 million, it's 5 hours. So as you can see, it does have a limit when you're feeling this much energy.
So this is clearly proving that we had been theorizing before that it went up higher, the higher you went up, but I thought maybe the sweet spot was going to be around the middle, but it clearly looks like the higher up you go inside the pyramid, the higher or more powerful the energy field. And I am just amazed at the difference that's achieved by putting that hat on your head as well, because it is taken you from on the floor from 50,000 to 250,000, from the chair from 55,000 to 500,000, and standing up from 1 million to 2 million. So the idea of stacking the pyramids that Dan A. Davidson had mentioned in his Shape Power book has definitely been proven to be accurate in this case. So probably more research to be done on this in later videos, but I just think that's an amazing result for us to find today. And again, due to looking at archaeology, which I think is a surprising result in and
Right.
of
And
itself.
originally, when you were showing that archaeology and the little pyramid inside the pyramid, energetically, I was getting that it allowed you to be an alchemist, right? So what does that mean? It means that you can completely transmute energy to form in the manner of a more desirable outcome. And usually that's what everyone's trying to accomplish in life. You know, if there's something bad going in your life, you want that to be more positive. This pyramid is absolutely doing that.
Well, now a question comes to mind for both of you. Lori and Bill, do you think that people, if I want to manifest something, for example, am I going to be better off standing up to put those desires out into the universe as opposed to sitting in a chair or sitting down on the floor?
Bill, you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, what I'm going to say with that is, no matter what, you're manifesting it within the pyramid. What I'm looking at, and we talked about this off camera, which we have a lot of great information that we talk about off camera. And the one particular importance that we mentioned is, what is it exactly that your body or your energy is getting while you're under the pyramid? And it was that it's increasing your power that's connected to your soul, that's connected to your mission, that's doing your soul's purpose in life. And I know a lot of people always want to be living their purpose. And what's great about this pyramid, that's exactly where it's taking them. And as we can see, depending on how fast you want to get there, you can go it at a slower rate, or you could go it at a fast rate. It's totally up to you. But at any rate, you're always going to be going towards your soul.
Wow. Okay. So I know I'm going to start working at least a portion of the day standing up inside my pyramid going forward. So this is just an amazing result. So Bill, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Well, I would just like to say that we are going to explore the energy at the top of the pyramid in subsequent videos, and to stay tuned.
That's a great idea. In summary, we have demonstrated today that once again we found a significant piece of archaeological information now in Central and South America in the form of the pyramid, of the Mayan calendar, and that geometry matches that we found in Egypt and throughout the rest of the world. So we've got Lori back now for some final words. Do you have any parting words, Lori, before we sign off?
That's funny. This has happened before where I've shorted out something or that I.
Yeah, she's pretty powerful. So
it's just, you know, Charlie, I think you and I have talked about this before. We really don't know how much power this pyramid has, but it's phenomenal. It's exciting. It's all positive. And I absolutely love that you did this. I'm just amazed and I'm in gratitude.
well, thank you. For those of you who are interested, we are beginning, we've done a video on this as well, but I want to remind all of you, starting Monday, December 2nd, we're going to be, the three of us, holding Pyramid Quest as a video podcast every Monday at noon Eastern time. You can go on to the YouTube channel and ask us questions. We're going to have topics that we'll be discussing every week, but we're also going to be taking time to answer your questions. So we hope that you all will be active participants. This is about all things pyramids. It's not just our geometry pyramid. So if you have questions of any sort, come on over and ask us and listen to the information that we'll be providing each and every Monday at noon. As always, I thank you for watching. Please tell your friends about Stargate Pyramids, and now tell them about our new podcast series, Pyramid Quest. We thank you for watching, and you have a great day.